I'm Brittany, this is John, and welcome to Gaywatch, where we watch gay things. Today we finally get to play Dramatical Murder. It's an extremely popular visual novel from Japan that got an anime that took all the gay out. And then finally, years after that, we got an official English translation, I believe last year. It is delightfully science fiction, the art is gorgeous, and you get to choose between a few of the characters for the main character to have a romantic arc with. And I already know who that's gonna be because I've had my eye on him and the main guy since I saw the anime and was disappointed when nothing happened. But now I finally get to see it happen. So I'm just gonna dive in. It's already been long enough. Why would I prolong this whole thing? It's already been too long. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hello? Come quickly. I was so caught off guard that I forgot to read out loud. Destroy me with your power. What the fuck? Okay, that's one way to start a game.
はい、お電話ありがとうございます。ジャンクショップ平凡です。
ちょっとお尋ねしたいんですけども。
はい。
そちらのお店でオールメイト用の S2 型カスタムパーツって扱ってますか？
はい、扱ってます。在庫もございますが。
あ、そうですか。わかりました。ありがとうございます。
Right, he runs
ご注文でしょうか？
Yeah, part shop.
あ、いえ、
はい。
突然こんなこと言うのもどうかと思うんですけど。
はい。
Oh, look at this art! Look at how beautiful it is! Just his fucking hair alone, which, if you can't tell, actually comes all the way down to his chest. Parts of it do, anyway.
もしよかったら、今日お店が終わった後にでも会えたりしませんかね？
あ
あ、いや、なんていうか、ほら、声がね、
In a non-creepy
なん
way.
ていうか、随分いい声してるな、なんて思っちゃったりして。
I've been on the job when I've gotten a call like that. It's not, terribly enjoyable.
いえいえ、そんなまさかとんでもない。大変恐縮です。あ、ところでお客様、一つ思い出したことがありましてよろしいですか？実はですね、先ほど S2 型カスタムパーツのお話をされてましたが、今度そのシリーズの新しいタイプを先行で入荷するんですよ。それでですね、ただいまお得意様だけに特別にご紹介するという形で予約を承っているんですが、いかがでしょう？おそらく人気商品なのですぐに売り切れてしまうと思うのですが、今予約していただければ確実にご購入いただけるかと。
でも
He is turning this guy's interest into a sale.
もちろんこれはお得意様限定の特別なご案内ですので、ご予約いただければサービスいたしますよ。
サービス？
はい。 サービスです。
じゃあぜひそれ予約します。
かしこまりました。ありがとうございます。それでは今からお客様の個人データをお送りください。はい、ありがとうございました。確かにご予約を承りました。それでは今後とも当店をどうぞごひいきに。
はい。
どうも
Uh-huh. I hang up the phone and let out a huge sigh. Even when I know what they're up to, dealing with customers who want something other than spare parts is always a pain. Oh, wait, let me go in and change this real quick. Your voice is so wonderful, I just have to meet you. I get that sort of thing over the phone surprisingly often. He does have a nice voice, though. It is a very pleasant voice. Just hearing my voice makes them want to meet me. Meet. What kind of guy says that to another guy? There are words for that. In the beginning, I just shrugged it off, but it really started to bother me after a while. Then one day, out of frustration, I tried using it to push product, and it worked! Ever since, I've used it to improve my sales. That phone call just now is a good example. Strangely enough, it doesn't happen in person. Some customers have actually come looking for me after a call, but I always pretend like I don't know what they're talking about. They all leave without realizing that I'm the person they spoke to over the phone. Nothing bad has actually happened, so I figure no harm, no foul.
店長はそろそろかな。
While stretching, I glance at the digital clock on the counter. This is Humdrum Junk, a shop that carries everything from basic supplies to specialized parts, all at rock-bottom prices. He's even selling the reader. Damn, the dorky name was what drew me in. Just how long has it been since I started working here anyway? A while, that's for sure.
メールか。
I'm leaning on the counter, spacing out, when the coil on my arm beeps. A coil is like a mobile phone, but better. You can make calls, send texts, watch TV, pay for things, and even use it as an ID, all in one little machine.
どれどれ。囚われの姫?
Is this some new viral ad? Like the adult kind? I'm sure the rest of it says something like, I'm in trouble, only a big strong man like you can save me. Delete. Suddenly, something slams into my side. I fall from the chair and something heavy lands on my back. 3 voices giggle overhead. I know right away who it is. Oh no, he's so cute! Alba's wide open! No, why are they adorable?
Warugachi!
お前らな。
It's Q, Now, and Mio, a trio of siblings from the neighborhood whose only purpose, it seems, is to make my life hell.
ここは遊び場じゃねえって何度も言ってるだろう。学習能力ないのかお前ら。
ああ、青葉がエッチなメール見てる。え？嘘。
Now must have gotten a look at my coil. The other 2 climb up my back, trying to get a peek. Can't breathe!
おりろバカ。
大人の男って不潔ね。ちげえよ。それはヤバい物の売買をするメールなんだよ。だってこの店モグリだからな。モグリモグリ。やっぱりダサいわこの店。よし、変態で不潔でモグリの青葉は逮捕だな。そうね。はいは
ー。お前らいい加減どけ。
I jump up, shaking them off, not gonna hold back just because they're kids. If I thought scolding them would accomplish anything, I'd do it, but this bunch doesn't give a rat's ass what I have to say.
ねえねえ、あの棚の上にあるの何に使うのかな。きっと誰かを倒すための道具なんだぜ。怖い。男って野蛮ね。
As I expected, their attention has already moved on to other things.
お前らなってゲ
The screen of my coil catches my eye. Download complete. The hell? I do recall it making a weird noise earlier. Maybe I accidentally pushed a button while I was wrestling with the brats. I hope I didn't download some weird program.
ああもう最悪じゃねえか。
Before I can investigate, the old-fashioned bell on the front door rings.
今日の届け先はちょっと遠かったな。
It's Mr. Haga, the owner.
ハガさん。遅くなり
The
ました。
character introductions. Mr. Haga's smile vanishes as soon as he sees the kids. I guess that's the natural reaction when you consider the kind of damage they always do.
いや、君たち、こんにちは。来てたんですね。
いいよ、あれ取ってよ。ちょっと待ってろ。おりゃ。木を折ったら意外と小さいのね。なんだと？
こらこら君たち、店の中で遊んだら危ないよ。怪我をしてしまうからね。君たち。
もううるさいな。うるさいハゲ。
Oh boy. The temperature in the room suddenly drops 10 degrees.
そこで遊んでいらっしゃる子供の皆さん。今、何とおっしゃいました？
Nothing? The kid said nothing. Please do not murder children in this shop.
さあ、もう一回言ってみてください。最初の言葉は？は？
激しくお腹が減ったから帰る。よし帰るぞ。帰るわよ。
The evil trio dashes from the store.
歯の続きは何なんですか一体。歯がどうしたんです？歯が。
ああそうだ店長。そうだ聞いてくださいよ。
I scramble for the words that'll snap him out of it.
A パーツの S シリーズの注文が最近また増えてきたんですよ。はい、いやーさすがですね。やっぱり店長の読み通りでしたね。前月より売り上げ 50% 増しですよ。
そうですか。
そうです。増量です。売り上げ倍増です。
売り上げ倍増。
Yeah, thanks to him fake whoring himself out to pervy customers.
それは良かったです。そんなに売れてるということでしたら、もう少しストックを厚くしておきましょうかね。
I breathe a sigh of relief. That was close. There's no telling what Mr. Haga might do once something sets him off. Finally calm, he straightens his glasses and gives me a tired smile.
いやー、本当に全く困った子供たちですね。
But they're super cute, though.
ですね。
やんちゃすぎるところさえなければ可愛い子たちなんですけど。
ですよね。
No matter how many times I've seen it happen, it's always startling when his personality does a 180 like that.
そうだ、青葉くん。
Mr. Haga walks to the counter and grabs a paper bag from the floor.
申し訳ないんですけど、この荷物を発送してきてもらえませんか。今日は。
いいんですか？
I'm so sorry if I accidentally cut people off for a little bit. It's sometimes hard to tell when they're actually done speaking.
実はですね、これから急にお客さんが来ることになったんです。だから今日はお店も早めに閉めようと思って。
そういうことなら了解っす。
I shoulder my bag and take the package for Mr. Haga. From the label, it looks like it's going pretty far. Fortunately, getting it there is the courier's job, not mine.
それじゃ行ってきます。あと、お疲れ様でした。
はい、お疲れ様。気をつけてね。
I head outside. According to my coil, it's 3 p.m. The back streets are full of people. There are several routes I could... Wow. There are several routes I could take to get to the courier. While considering which would be fastest, I reach into my shoulder bag and pull out a soft, furry lump. Yee! The ball of fur is still asleep. I press my palm against his forehead to wake him up.
レン、起きろ。
青葉。
運び屋まで行きたいんだけど、一番早いルートを検索してくれ。
了解。
That's the cutest Google Maps I've ever fucking seen. I want one of those so badly. I'm sure everybody does. But I also... Me too! Yes! I understand the desire. I want one. Ren gently touches my upper arm with his paws.
東の241通りは検問のために封鎖。バスは点検のために運休。北のターミナルを迂回した方が早い。
そっか、サンキュー。
I pat Ren on the head. He barks and wags his tail. See, this is how you do it. Fuck this Alexa stuff, right? You put it in a really cute little animal package. World domination.
よっしゃ、それじゃ行きますか。
Hey, intro! Aside from Ren, the dog, I really don't remember much about Dramatical Murder, kind of like period, because I watched the anime. I may or may not have even finished it, because I got the sense that there wasn't going to be any queer stuff, and I was like, well, then I'll just play the There He Is. I'll just play the visual novel, and then like a decade later, I'm finally here. Oh, it's such beautiful art. I think this came out in like the zeros. Oh, and it's gorgeous. And the world is so cool. Oh, I remember nothing about like the game that everybody plays, but I remember, like, all I remembered is being really cool. Like, I really loved everything that they were doing. It was just when you sign up for queer stuff and then they don't give it to you. This is probably spoilery as hell. Too late. I love the retro touches. And I'm sure the soundtrack is amazing. Like, this is a bop right here. I'm already signed up. Yeah, Nitro Cairo. They have a new queer game coming out that came out in Japan this year, and they're working on an English translation already that we probably won't get until next year. It's called Slow Damage. Ooh, the concept is just, it is dark. I'm very excited. Anyway, sorry, we're not playing that right now. As everyone in the old residential district knows, the best way to get around is on foot. Public transportation here is pretty bad. Technically, there are buses, trains, and even taxis available, but they can be canceled or delayed without notice. Even the roads themselves might be closed without notice, so you hardly see any cars around these days. At most, you might see a taxi waiting in vain or the occasional junker parked on the side of the road. The sidewalks, on the other hand, are always packed. Nothing's more reliable than your own two legs. It's kind of ableist, but alright. The old residential district is divided into north, south, east, and west quarters. They're similar, but have some key differences. Oh, it's beautiful. For example, both my home and Humdrum Junk are located in the east quarter. It's pretty safe compared to the other quarters, and it's easy to get your hands on whatever you need. The North Quarter's become something of a ghost town ever since it was designated off limits. It's definitely not the safest place to go. The West Quarter is primarily residential, like the East Quarter, but doesn't have as many stores. The South Quarter is an entertainment and shopping district, so it's always full of youngsters hanging out. What is he? What, youngsters? What is he, like 22? And if you go farther north, up past the North Quarter, there's Platinum Jail, where the rich and famous do their business. Platinum Jail. Platinum Jail is a members-only resort that the 2A Corporation, one of Japan's top 5 companies, built when they bought Midorojima. If the rumors are true, that place is the definition of luxury. Centered around the giant oval tower, it's full of casinos, movie theaters, shopping malls, hotels, everything you can imagine. Membership is by invitation only, but even then the membership fee alone costs more than this whole island is worth, or so I've heard. Obviously, no one from the old residential district will ever get into Platinum Jail. So I guess you could call this town a slum. Nobody cares what happens here. The police are all talk. They're in bed with the Yakuza and just do whatever they please. It's not like we can do anything about it. Even if we're unhappy, we just have to suck it up and deal with it. Get a little too real! Despite all that, as the saying goes, there really is no place like home. This town isn't so bad once you get used to it. While it may not be as extravagant as Platinum Jail, we have our own way of life, our own kinds of fun. Can't really ask for much more than that.
Aoba. Aoba.
Ren pokes his head out of the bag and taps my arm with his paw.
どうした？
考えすぎだ。思考回路がショートするぞ。
マジか？つか、どんだけ貧弱な思考回路なんだよ、俺。
比較対象をごく一般的な成人男性として、その思考回路の強度を仮に100とすると、青葉の思考回路の強度は。
いい、そういうのはいいから。その説明で余計にショートする。
Oh shit, he has cybernetics.
そうか。
I chuckle and pat his head. Ren is a dog-type all-mate. All-mates are artificially intelligent life forms, generally used to augment network devices, like coils. They can search the internet and virtual space for information, place orders for you in online stores, or manage your social media accounts. Some models can also help around the house, while others can act as partners in an online game called Rhyme! Rhyme! There are many different types of all-mate. Animal models are abundant, so many people keep them as pets. I've had Ren for a long time. I'm not exaggerating when I say he's my best friend. Even with all the improvements and new models coming out, I'll never abandon Ren, not even if hell freezes over.
青葉、近道をするなら次の道を右だ。
あっぶね。通り過ぎるとこだった。
I follow Ren's directions down an alley off of Aoyagi? Street. Aoyagi Street runs through the center of the old residential district, dividing the district into quarters. It's lined with shops selling discount appliances, while the back streets are littered with niche hobby shops. As I make my way down the alley, a group of guys leaning against a filthy wall catches my eye. They have a certain look, like the kind of guys who'd be passing around a silver drug sheet. It really makes you wonder what's wrong with kids these days. Again, how old are you? Once upon a time, though, I was just like them. Not that I'm old or anything. Anyway, I'm finished with that stuff. Totally. As I walk past, I catch a bit of their conversation.
でさ、本当にあったらしいんだよ。こういきなり頭の中を乗っ取られるっつうの。
なんだそりゃ、強制ライム参加かよ。
そうそう、まさしくそれだよ。道端でいきなりライム仕掛けられて、しかも相手がすっげえ強いんだって。
でもそれって臼井がいない状態ってことだろ。なのにライムとかできんの？
それができるらしいんだよな。よくわかんねえけど。
つか、準備も何もしてねえのに戦うとか無理じゃね？拒否れねえの？
問答無用らしい。とにかく強制的に引っ張られてボコられるってんで、まさしく辻斬りだよ。
やべえなそれ。
They're talking about Rime, the online fighting game that's all the rage these days. By connecting their minds to the net, players can experience virtual combat that feels just like the real thing. The thing is, there's no schedule or anything that tells you when or where a battle's gonna happen. Wherever Usui, the game's judge, appears, that's the battlefield. Rime started off as an indie game. Back then, the rules were more lax and Usui wasn't around either. It steadily gained popularity and eventually Toei became a major sponsor. The system was improved and Usui was added, along with an official set of rules, making Rime what it is today. But I don't play Rime, so it isn't really my business. I head through the alley and come out once more on Ayagi Street. Gotta get used to that. At the end of the street, I see the sign for the courier shop. Just as I start toward it, I notice a crowd in the middle of the road. It looks like a fight. A bunch of people with nothing better to do have gathered to watch. I keep walking, trying to avoid the whole mess, but then the crowd stirs, followed by a high-pitched scream. I peer through the gaps in the crowd. A large man is sprawled out on the ground, another standing over him. The second man has his back to me, but I recognize him immediately. A bright red kimono and a big sword. There's no one else it could be!
図体の割に大したことねえな。せっかく彼女の前だってのに台無しじゃねえか。
That's his name!
かっこいい、素敵。
Starry-eyed girls flock to the victor, trampling the man on the ground in the process. Here we go again.
本当にすみませんでした。
My bad. One woman who was keeping a bit of a distance approaches with an apologetic bow.
私も公爵さんに髪を結ってもらいたいって。彼にわがままを言ってしまって。それで。
Right! Isn't he a fucking hairdresser?
生意気なのよ。そうよ。具をわきまえなさいよね。
She must be the girlfriend of the man sprawled on the street. I'm guessing the commotion started when they tried to cut in line at Kojaku's shop. Calming his angry fans with a gesture, Kojaku gives the girlfriend a smile.
お嬢さん、そう思ってくれるのは髪結い冥利に尽きるぜ。
Yeah.
けどな、みんな俺の大事なお客さんなんだ。順番はちゃんと守ってもらわねえとな。
はい。
彼氏もちっと強引だったが、あんたを思ってのことだ。あんまり責めてやるなよ。また日改めて来てくれ。そん時は歓迎するからよ。
はい。
The woman's eyes sparkle, her cheeks turning bright red. There goes another one. Kojaku's other fans are not
ちょっ
amused.
と、いつまでそこにいんのよ。どいてよ。 ジャクさん、汗かいたでしょ。これさっき買ったばかりのハンカチなんですけど、もしよかったら使ってください。
いや、そりゃ悪いだろう。気に入って買ったんだろう。自分で使いな。いいです
。ゴージャクさんに使っていただけるなら、きっとこのハンカチも本望です。
本望ね。そこまで言われて断ったんじゃ男が廃るってもんだ。そんじゃありがたく使わせてもらうぜ。
They got a nice voice for him too. Kajaku takes the woman's hands, pulling her toward him with a smile.
ありがとな。
He's smooth. He's smooth. Oh no. There it is, his infamous lady killer smile. Interesting choice of words. Well, that's what I call it, at least. The woman with the handkerchief slumps to her knees, attracting jealous glares from the others. Every woman here seems out for blood. Can you blame them?
さっさと行くか。
This isn't the first time I've seen this shtick. Disgusted, I start to move away from the crowd.
青葉。
Ugh. I can feel all those eyes focusing on me. I'll pretend I didn't hear him. I turn around and start walking at a brisk pace.
おい、待てって。
But Kujaku runs after me and grabs my arm. Here we go again.
コージャック。青葉。やっぱり青葉じゃねえか。
ああ。
なんだよ、水くせえな。いたんなら声かけろって。
ああ、まあ仕事中に通りかかっただけだし。
仕事中？配達か。
Kajak smiles indulgently, which of course makes the women around him swoon again. His smile's like a weapon. He's been using it for ages, but women still fall for it. I really don't feel like talking here. There are too many people around, and the women's eyes are scaring me.
つか、お前も仕事中だろ？なんか騒ぎになってたけど。
ああ、こいつが列を無視しようとしたからよ。ちょいと軽くな。
お前、いい加減にしとかないと、そのうち刺されるぞ。
刺される？だ。
見りゃわかるでしょうが。
I sweep my gaze over the women glaring at me. It was clear that they weren't about to let anyone, man or woman, get close to Kojaku. Scary.
まあ大丈夫だろう。つか、俺がそう簡単に刺されるように見えるか？
Kojaku punctuates this with a smirk. Seriously? Well, I guess I can't argue with him there. Kojaku's pretty much always been aware of how handsome and popular he is. He's not the type to brag about it, but he has a casual confidence about him and he knows his way around a fight. He's a wandering hairdresser. I thought I remembered that. All he does is cut and style women's hair, but apparently he's developed quite a reputation for it. He sets up shop wherever and whenever he feels like it. He doesn't advertise or take reservations, but he always has a line around the block. They all say that when Kojaku touches your hair, it feels like you've died and gone to heaven. Honey, I get it. I just don't get it. Oh boy, you will. If you told me a guy like this existed, I wouldn't believe you for a second if I didn't already know him.
とにかく、女遊びはほどほどにしとけよ。影でな。
んなこと言ってもな。しょうがねえだろう。スウェゼン食わぬは男の恥だし、女はこの世の宝だし。女は綺麗で可愛い。だから、みんなに優しくしてやりたいんだよ。
ゴージャクさん、素敵。大好き。
まあ、それはそれでいいんじゃないですかね。じゃ、俺もう行くわ。
お、
よたくさん。早く。ちょっと次は私が言ってもらう番なんだから。
As soon as I end the conversation, the women swarm Kojaku. He shoots me a look from the center of the crowd.
ああ、そうだ。また近々お前んとこ行くから、タエさんによろしく。
Hey, hey.
I shrug and walk off. Still, the guy never gets enough, huh? I mean, he must like it, but I know I would hate to be the center of all that attention. I guess he's a special breed. I head for the courier, leaving the crowd behind. Delivery works. There it is. I step through the automatic doors.
いらっしゃいませ。あら、青葉ちゃん、毎度。
お疲れ様です。
I bowed to Miss Yoshi and set the paper bag on the counter. Wow. A small dog with long, shiny fur sits proudly on the counter, watching me intently. That's Clara, Miss Yoshi's all-mate.
これ、お願いします。
はいはい、預かるわよ。
Miss Yoshi checks the address with practiced hands, then pushes a nearby button. A box next to the counter opens. She tosses the bag inside. This outfit specializes in delivering packages within the old residential district, a welcome service in a town where transportation isn't readily available. In any case, my work here is done.
それじゃ、失礼します。
青葉ちゃん、この後お店へ戻るの？
いや、今日は帰ります。店長が店早く閉めるから、これ終わったら帰っていいって。
あら、そうなの。いいわね。だって今夜はダンナラの最終回じゃない。リアルタイムで見られるじゃないの。
ダン？何ですか？
やったの。この間教えてあげたばっかりじゃない。
あ、そうでしたっけ？何でしたっけ？
ドラマよ、ドラマ。
A waltz to remember.
今日でついにどちらをパートナーに選ぶか決まるのよ。私は断然カイザー松岡がいいと思うの。あの爽やかな笑顔にちょっぴりの薄気がたまらないのよね。
She is upfront about her preferences.
はあ。
Miss Yoshi twirls her hair around her finger with a dreamy, girlish look in her eyes. I mean, she's not a bad person or
じゃあ
anything.
俺、そろそろ。
そういえばね、アバちゃん、聞いた？ほら、あの話よ、あの話。もしかしたら知ってるかもしれないんだけど。
Miss Yoshi beckons me closer, a serious look on her face. She's really not a bad person. Swallowing a resigned sigh, I lean closer. There are no other people in the shop, but for some reason she speaks in a whisper.
ほら、北の氷河谷あるじゃない？あの治安が悪い地区。もともといい噂のないところだけど、最近特に物騒な噂を聞くのよ。
はあ。
あの辺にね、超極悪非道な死刑囚がリーダーをやってるチームがいるらしいのよ。
ああ、スクラッチでしたっけ？なんかやばい連中が最近よく出没するみたいですね。
そうそう、刑務所の囚人たちで作られたチームらしいじゃない？確かちょっと前にもあの辺で誰か誘拐されたとか、建物が壊されたとか、そんな話があったでしょ？怖いわよね。夜道なんておちおち一人で歩けないわよ。警察なんて全然頼りにならないしね。それどころか警察だって私たちに何するかわからないし。ほんと生きにくい世の中よね。
She's not wrong about that. The old residential district police are no better than gangsters themselves. Goddamn right. Rub an officer the wrong way and you could get beaten or even arrested. It's depressing that that's not as bad as real life.
ああ、やだやだ。私も早く帰りたいわ。ねえ、もし帰りに襲われちゃったりしたらどうしよう。
え
Miss Yoshi shoots me a meaningful look.
大丈夫じゃないですかね。
なになに青葉ちゃんひどい。私の一体何が大丈夫だっていうのよ。
あー、じゃあ俺はこの辺で。お疲れした。
ちょっと
Another voice stops me before I can leave.
え、
あの青いのはどうしたのかしら。あら、クララちゃん、レンちゃんに会いたいの？
そうよね。
クララちゃんとレンちゃん仲良しだものね。
Taking Clara into her arms, Miss Yoshi shoots me an expectant look.
ああ、今日は会いにくい家に。
そのカバンに入っているんでしょ？私に挨拶もしないで帰るつもり？
I guess, like mother, like all mate? No way out. I'm sorry, Ren. You'll just have to grin and bear it. I take Ren out of my bag and gently pat his head to wake him up.
青葉、どうした？
レン、クララちゃんにご挨拶。
Ren's ears and tail drop. Clara stares down at him from her place in Miss Yoshi's arms.
どうしたの？まだ眠っているのかしら？
ごきげんよう、クララ。
ごきげんよう、レン。
Clara wags her tail happily. Miss Yoshi smiles too.
本当にクララちゃんとレンちゃんは仲良しね。
それじゃあ挨拶も終わったし、今度こそこの辺で。
ああ、待って、ちょっと待って、青葉ちゃん。
え、
もう一つだけ。ちょっと待ってね。悪いわね、帰るところ。
It's night by the time Miss Yoshi lets me go. Uh-huh.
避けて通れないのであれば仕方ない。
Ren is curled up in my bag, exhausted from his ordeal. Despite the attitude, Clara seems rather fond of Ren. She asks about him whenever I see her. While users can adjust their all-mates' personalities to some degree, they are largely shaped by their environment. As a result, you can never tell when two all-mates will connect. Ren doesn't seem to like Clara very much, but unfortunately for him, I find the whole situation kind of funny.
青葉こそ大丈夫か？
なんとか。
After she stopped me the last time, Miss Yoshi made me eat this whipped cream slathered monstrosity she'd made in cooking class. My stomach is killing me.
さあ、帰るか。
Feeling like a couple of soldiers who narrowly escaped death on the battlefield, we start toward home. Night is in full swing on Ayagi Street, the darkness washed away by lights and brilliant neon signs. There are no zoning laws in the old residential district. Even in the middle of the day, the crooked skyline ensures that some parts of the city never see the sun. But when night falls, things really change. That's when the Ribsties come out of the woodwork. The Ribsties are young men who form gangs or teams to brawl with each other over turf. This game, if you can call it that, is also known as Rib. Rib was popular before Rhyme, so the Rib gangs look down on their digitized Rhymer cousins. They think they're just a bunch of nerds trying to act cool. There's an accurate picture of gamer life for you. Still, more and more Ribsties are making the jump to Rhyme, and that means everyone's looking for a fight. Suddenly, someone grabs my arm from behind.
おお、これブレインナッツのジャケットじゃん。
It's a man with dyed red hair. He looks younger than me.
なあ、このデザインって今プレミアついてるやつじゃね？
A grinning green-haired man approaches next. Red and green. Is it Christmas or something?
やっべえ、俺これすげえ欲しいんすけど。なあ、お兄さん。
The red-haired one gives me a phony smile.
駅前の店で売ってるよ。
I try to jerk my arm away, but the redhead glares and grips me tighter.
ちょっと待てって。
お前なんだよその態度。
俺は今ここでこれが欲しいって言ってんだよ。聞こえた？
つかさ、俺らバグボムなんだけどさ、知ってるよね、バグボム。で何？舐めてんの？
The green-haired guy flashes the tattoo on his wrist. A winking woman with enormous breasts straddling a big pink bomb. Wow, we get to beat the shit out of these guys, right? Wow, I'd kill the guy who put that on my skin. In any case, I haven't heard of Bug Bomb. Obviously, these two are small time, looking for fights to build their cred.
だせ。ああ？おい、今なんつった？だせっつったんだよ。
ああ？おめえどこのチームよ？
入ってねえし。はあ？まさかのノーマーク？マジか？
Red and green look at each other, grinning like idiots.
ありえねえ。
Rib gangs always have a tag, a piece of art members tattoo on their body. If you don't have a tag, it means you're not in a gang, and that makes you an easy target.
へえ、ノーマークってことはやっちゃっていいんだ。
余裕っしょ。お兄さんさ、ちょっとその辺にしとけよ。
ああ？
Red looks over my shoulder, glaring at the man who's appeared behind me.
こいつに絡むと顎砕かれるぞ。
はあ？何？お前誰？
Green, meanwhile, has turned white as a sheet.
おい、やばいよ。
何がだよ。
こいつ、ドライジュースのヘッドの水木だ。
は？ドライジュース？
こいつの必殺技知ってるか？狐のかかと落としっつーの。一発食らうと顎砕かれるぜ。
He's a good bullshitter.
ドライジュースなら最初からそう言えよ。
行こうぜ。
The man behind me laughs as the two punks run off with their tails between their legs.
だっせーな、おい。逃げるくらいなら最初から喧嘩売るなっつーの。
I turn around knowing exactly who I'll see.
よ。
久しぶりだな、青葉。水木！
Ooh, tattoo artist! I saw tattoo artist. It's Mizuki, leader of Dry Juice, the largest of the rib gangs. He has tan skin, black hair, and green eyes. The symbol of his gang, a teardrop, is tattooed beneath one eye.
狐のかかと落としってなんだよ。
お前の足技の話だよ。名前はさっき適当につけたけど。でも、顎砕いたことあるのは間違ってないだろ。
何年前の話だよ。
俺は今でもよく覚えてるけどな。つか、お前がこの時間にこの辺にいるって珍しいな。
はあ、まあな。
ようやく来る気になったか？ドライジュースに。
He grins welcomingly, but I just shrug.
まさか。そういうの嫌だっつってるだろ。
チームも入ってみりゃ意外といいもんだぜ。
I used to run with Mizuki back in the day, and we got into all sorts of trouble. Though he's usually pretty laid back, he's also a guy you can depend on, who knows when it's time to get serious. Rib fighters all think they're hot shit, so it's pretty impressive that he's managed to unite so many to form the largest rib gang. Still, I have no intention of joining.
とにかく、めんどいの嫌なの、俺は。
知ってるよ。でも、最近はうちも結構微妙なんだよな。
微妙？そうか？お前んとこ相変わらず最強だろ？
あれだよ。ライムのせいだ。
ライ
Mizuki's expression darkens.
うちのメンバーもちょろちょろ流れてんだよ。ライムなんて頭脳戦っていや聞こえいいけど、所詮はただの妄想ゲームだろ。まったくどこがいいんだかわけわかんねえよ。妄想で縄張り守れるかっつうの。
まあ確かにな。
I honestly can't blame Mizuki for feeling the way he does about Rhyme. I mean, you could make the same argument about Rib, that it's just a bunch of kids playing capture the flag. But I know Mizuki really cares about his team. That's probably why he can't just let trend hoppers slide.
それから神隠しだ。
神隠し？
聞いたことあるだろ。昔リブのチームが丸ごと全員行方不明になったって話。
No, we haven't come across that yet.
あるけど、でもあれって都市伝説みたいなもんだろ。しかも
どういう理由かはわかんねえんだが、最近ぱったり見かけなくなったチームがいるんだよな。
ヘマでもしてヤクザに締められたとかじゃねえの？
それが消えたチームのメンバーが数日経ってからふらっと帰ってくるってのが起きてな。でもそいつ何も覚えてなかったらしい。自分のことも忘れてて、まるで脳が壊れちまってるような感じだったらしいぜ。
Oh, that's freaky.
でも神隠しって確か犯人はあのモルヒネだってオチじゃなかったか？モルヒ
ま、そうなんだけどな。
Morphine was a legendary rib gang that dominated the scene a decade ago. Their tag was a heart and cross, all in black. The gang was cloaked in mystery. All anyone really knew was that they were invincible. Naturally, rumors gathered like flies. One popular rumor said that they were behind the disappearances.
犯人がモルヒネじゃないとなると、もしかしたらライムやってる奴らの仕業じゃねえかとか。
そりゃちょっと話がぶっ飛びすぎだろ。
本気で言ってるわけじゃないぜ。ただ最近奴ら調子に乗ってきてるからな。
だからって神隠しまでやってしかも人の頭をおかしくするとかそんなことできんのか？
I don't know, man. You introduce cybernetics into your world and there's a lot of
そこまでやれ
fuckery
るん
that
な
you
ら
can get up to.
何かしらの騒ぎになってるだろ。
いや、分かってるって。だから俺も本気で言ってるわけじゃない。
Just then, we hear cheering nearby, followed by the thunder of footsteps as people race to the scene. Mizuki scowls.
ライムか。ああ、なんか気分悪いな。そろそろ行くわ。また今度店に顔出せよ。
なあ。
んじゃな。
Mizuki waves, then stalks away, pushing through the gathering crowd. Once Mizuki is gone, I turn toward the center of the commotion. While rhyme isn't exactly my boat, I don't have anything against it either. I was actually pretty curious the first time Mizuki brought it up.
どうした？
なんでもねえよ。行くか。
Oh. A white light swallows the world. Before I can figure out what's going on, a ball of light appears in front of me. It gradually assumes a human form, then reaches toward me with one hand. Its fingertips stroke my cheek, or at least I think they do. The next thing I know, I'm at the center of the crowd. Bodies press in from all sides. I'm trapped. You getting brain jacked, hun. A circle of light is floating above the ground, and inside it... Ooh! A woman with 8 arms appears, swaying slowly before coming to a stop.
お待たせしました皆さん。これよりライブを開始します。本日の第1戦目はライブネームプレイヤー vs ルート44の対戦だ。
So this is Rhyme. I've never seen it up close before.
プレイヤーはこれまで5回参戦、3連勝中。一方ルート44は初参加。
The 8-armed woman is Yusui, who presides over all Rhyme battles. I say woman, but for some reason it has a deep, manly voice. Usui's hands flicker, the light grows brighter, and a huge virtual screen appears overhead. The fighters are already in the ring, preparing their all-mates. All-mates? All-mates fighting this?
果たしてニューカマーが連勝記録を止めるのか、それとも。さあプレイヤーの方は準備が完了したようだ。ルート44の方ももうそろそろ OK か。両者とも準備完了。それじゃあ早速始めようか。ゲームスタート。
Usui lifts its hands with a gentle grace, its elegant movements a sharp contrast to its booming voice. The monitor switches to a view of the field. The audience hoots and cheers. Suddenly, a sharp pain shoots through my head. What the hell is the noise getting to me? Clutching my forehead, I glare at the crowd.
青葉、大丈夫か。
ああ、大丈夫。でもそろそろ行くか。
そうした方がいい。
I finally managed to muscle my way out of the roaring throng. Leaning against a nearby wall, I sigh and catch my breath. Oh. You guys. I look up to find a similar duo standing in front of me. A familiar duo standing in front of me.
こんばんは。
やっほー。
どうしたんですか？気分でも悪くなりました？
人酔いでもした？
Wheels and Trip。
お前ら。なあ、まあそんなとこかな。
The Four Eyes is Virus. The big guy is Trip. I've known them for ages.
青葉、気分はどうだ。
まあまあ大丈夫。こんなところでどうしたんです？ライムなんて珍しい。いや、どうってこともねえんだけど。もしかして興味湧いちゃいました？全然そういうんじゃねえよ。
ぼんやりして巻き込まれたんじゃねえの？
違うって。つかお前らこそ何こんなとこでフラフラしてんだよ。俺たちはお仕事ですよ。
ライムの連中最近はしゃぐから。
The old residential district is home to some pretty dangerous groups. These two belong to one of them. I met them ages ago when I was still a stupid teenager. Back then I was always pissed off about something. I'd spend my nights trolling for brawls in Wanabashi. In the end, all that adolescent posturing got me was a trip to the hospital after I picked a fight with the wrong guy. Yeah, I was kind of a loser. The only people who really know what I got up to back then are these two and Granny. I lost touch with them until we reconnected a few years ago. By then, I'd gotten a part-time job and they had joined the Yakuza. Considering that the police here are basically Yakuza too, it's never really bothered me.
それにしても相変わらずお前ら似たような格好してんな。
They practically are. I thought they were at first.
双子じゃありませんから。
Too
青葉
funny.
さんはお仕事の方は順調ですか？
ああ、アイスクリーム屋さんだっけ？ペンギンのエプロンの。あれは1日でクビになったんだっけ？1
日じゃない、3日。今はジャンクショップの店員やってるよ。
ああ、なんだっけ？平等？
Close.
平凡。 もう結構長く続いてるし。
青葉さんに平凡なんてネーミング合いませんけどね。ま、うち割と羽振りいいのでおすすめですよ。
気持ちだけ受け取っとく。
青葉さんの戦ってる姿また見たいって今でもよく思うんですけどね。
そうそう、俺たちファンだからな、青葉の。
おっとルート44ダメージ250。さあいよいよクライマックスか。
A roar goes up from the audience, but then an even louder voice cuts through the charged atmosphere.
アクシマ
Is that like a speakerphone gun telescope? What the fuck is that? Brandishing a megaphone, a man charges in with several police officers in tow. Let me check time. Okay. We'll get to know this guy, I'm guessing, in the next episode. Originally, you know, I want Dramatical Murder videos to be more like an hour and a half, but I had some technical difficulties and I was getting everything set up today. So it's only probably going to be about an hour today, but in the future it'll be a little bit longer. So thank you so much for joining me as we work our way through this very weird, cool, fascinating world. And I like it. I really do. I really love this world and the setup and the characters that we're being introduced to so far. I think the translation is pretty decent. Like, the prose is functional, which, if you're familiar with visual novels at all, the prose quality can get real patchy when looking for good visual novels. So this is, at the very least, like, it's respectable, it's functional, it's doing its job, it's totally fine. And I'm really excited to see, I don't even know what, like, the inciting incident is. I don't know what kicks off this whole plot. I kind of appreciate this slower beginning, getting introduced to the cast and the city and all of that before we really kick things off, so that we understand everything clearly. And of course, I'm super excited to get to know my man a little bit better and see exactly how their romantic arc plays in with the larger plot. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back in a couple of days. This is going to be 3 times a week for just a couple of weeks. So I will be back on Wednesday with episode 2. And please remember to take care of yourself.